Really nice. They finally finished the Eagle Lake locomotive boardwalk after a 2-year delay because of coronavirus. Really cool. It goes as far as the eye can see now. Look at these big slats of wood. You can smell it. A lot of this lumber smells really fresh. It was airdropped about 2 years ago. Most of it was in the middle of the pallet. That's why it still smells so fresh. Yeah, if you come here in the spring, especially, or after a rainstorm, you're walking through a marsh. This whole thing is all mud. So many mosquitoes last year. And this trail is relatively new. Only built 2 years ago. Now it's very accessible. I'm very surprised to see this much boardwalk. It's really nice. And they filled the holes between the roots with rocks to prevent mud. Oh, look at this. They even built it going down like little steps. And it continues around this corner. And even more. This is awesome. They cut it with chainsaws so it fits perfectly together. It's the longest boardwalk trail I've ever been on. Very nice. And there's a few more scattered pieces. The Big Dirt Donut. And they built some nice stairs. Getting pretty windy out. After 90 years, the drainage ditch for this train company is still working with no maintenance. Look at this, they still have a ton of timber left over that they'll probably try to use if they discover more muddy areas. This is where they did the big drop of materials. Take a look at this railway switch. The tree grew right into it. Got the big lever that would pull a bar, move them back and forth. But the other track's not even here anymore. Big old beaver lodge. Water's pretty low right now. The old logging donkey. This thing was steam powered. Would have been a belt right here on the end. And this giant cable would drag logs out of the forest. Park rangers pulled out a whole bunch of things. They excavated it, and all the tourists stole it. This place used to be very difficult to get to. Probably a mistake what they did to it. Used to be a few miles of bushwhacking which kept the vandals away. You know what I'm noticing here? Not these names, but it looks like they cleaned something off it. Probably paint. No, that happened a few years back. Otherwise, looking good. Now that guy there is writing his name absolutely everywhere. That's at least the third time I've seen that same name with the same orange. I wonder if the person was stupid enough to write their real name. Park ranger can just type it in the computer and see who it was, because you gotta sign into this place. Still pretty greased up. There it is again. The guy with the orange markings on both of them, he wrote the word poop. Whoever wrote their middle and last name is stupid. Look at this. Park rangers should just log into the computer and type in the name, and if it was a kid, which it seems is very immature, hopefully the father or mother has the same last name and they can search up the license plate and send a fine to their house for damaging this historic place. Because it's everywhere, the orange stuff. Who is stupid enough to put their entire name on vandalism? Inside the train, again with Josh and his poop stuff. Up on top of the train, just went down inside the hatch. Look at this tank for the air brakes. Really old. Some random gate is out here for whatever reason. This is part of the tram system, miniature tracks. Logs would go on here and then it would return to the other side because all the rivers here flow in the wrong direction, so they had to move it across the land to float it in the Chamberlain and Eagle Lakes. There's a demonstration up ahead I'll show. Here's the demonstration they put up. See how it works. There's some old pictures. This is the building that burned down around the trains. That's why the trains are so severely rusted. Train company was closed during the Great Depression. And by the time it was over, steam trains were obsolete and they went on to trucks and eventually tractor trailer trucks. Take a look at these giant steam boilers with that giant stack. Real big pistons in there. Take a look at that. Massive belt. They recently excavated a lot of the stuff recently. That's what you see all the numbers on here, because they needed to make sure it was put together correctly after they had to disassemble it and put it back. So you got 310, 314. You see the new pressure treated wood instead of the older creosote stuff. That's definitely not 90 years old. That was a earlier restoration. And look at this. The entire marsh is dried up. What I'm hoping to do before dark is walk to the trestle, but I don't know if it's doable today. This shows a lot of tourists don't have really interest in the tram station. Heavily worn going to the trains, but not really coming out here. Oh, it's so windy. Amazing. There's so many Canadian geese out here. Last time I was up here in the spring, water was all the way up in here. Now it's way down there again. This is not a very deep place, and for that reason, it's only dropped maybe 10, 20 feet. But this is a shallow grassland. Moose love it. Wow, this is a cool old valve. See this? The water comes in here, and it can only get through down into this part when this is lifted. Really cool. See, the other end will be the opposite. The lower half. This thing must have been in pieces. You see when they rebuilt it to what it used to look like for tourists? See that pipe? It's brand new pipes. See this here? Brand new pipes, brand new bolts. And look at the extra pieces in here. See this? Brand new from when they rebuilt it. I wonder, what is this thing here? See the magnets? Is this thing to collect bugs or something? Do not remove. There's like something, some sugary substance in there. I don't know, maybe for bugs. Cool. Alright. Just wanted to add that I did talk to them at the checkpoint, and they're going to send a ranger out to take a photograph and remove all that Josh stuff that was written a few dozen times. And they said if the guy's name is in the computer, they'll be able to send him a $500 fine for each piece of graffiti. So hopefully they're able to find out who Stupid Josh is. Today's video was just to show the trail work they did, because I thought it was pretty cool. On these things, I really don't mind when people write their names tiny because it's not really noticeable, but today that really pissed me off when one person writes their name like 3 dozen times on everything. Yeah, I literally found it maybe 25 or 30 times, all that orange everywhere. Same guy's name, writing poop everywhere. Just a disgrace. The park ranger should try to figure out who exactly that name belongs to and trace the license plate, because they take license plates upon entering this area at the checkpoint. They should really try to figure that out. Anyways, this was a cool video of the trails, I think. I love that extra long boardwalk. Hope this video was interesting. Thanks for watching.